my contents, and the definition of dogfighting is that it's a type of blood sport and it's illegal in most developed countries. However, it is still played for entertainment and gambling. It's illegal, but organized dogfights still take place, and it was a common entertainment in the 1800s, and in some urban areas it's a strongly formed subculture. There are many crimes associated with dogfighting, such as animal abuse, animal neglection, and illegal gambling. And the rules in an organized fight is that these fighters can take place in a variety of locations and at any time, and they may be events in a back alley or a planned and staged enterprise in a location designed and maintained for this purpose. And usually this fight takes place in a pit that's between 14 and 20 feet square, with sides that are made of plywood, hay bales, chain link, or anything that can contain these animals. And the flooring can be anything like dirt, wood, carpet, and sawdust. And this pit has scratch lines that are marked in opposite corners where these dogs will face each other from 12 to 14 feet apart. And in a more organized fight, these dogs will be weighed to make sure they're approximately the same weight. And these handlers will often wash and examine the opponent's dog to remove any toxic substances that may have been placed in the fur to harm the opposing dog. And at the start of the fight, these dogs are released from their corners, and they usually meet in the middle. And handlers aren't permitted to touch the dogs except when told to do so by the referee. And this can happen when one dog turns. And if a dog turns away from his opponent without renewing his attack, the referee can call a turn and require that the dogs be returned to their corners. And the dog wins if one dog stops attacking and it keeps on turning when they meet. And if the dog loses, if it had a good past performance or has a valuable bloodline, it will live, but if it's not, it will be killed or just left with untreated injuries. And there are 3 types of dogfighting, 3 levels in dogfighting. The first one is the street level, and in this level, fighters engage in dogfights that are informal and they can appear anywhere. There are no rules, and these fights are usually triggered by insults. And these fights are actually often associated with gang activities, and it's conducted with money or drugs. The next level is the hobbyist level, and this is when dogs participate in organized events that are held several times a year. And these games are held for income and entertainment, and they pay more, and the breeders pay more attention to breeding and caring for their dogs. The last one is professional, and in this level, people often have large numbers of animals, often 50 or more, and they earn money from breeding, selling and fighting dogs at a central location and on the road. And they regularly dispose of animals, that means kill, that are not successful fighters or breeders using a variety of methods, including shooting and blunt force trauma. And about the pit bull, this is the most commonly used breed of dog that are used for dogfighting, and their descendants are the original English bull-baiting dog. And these bull-baiting dogs were trained to bite large animals such as bulls and bears around their head and not let go until it dies from the loss of blood. And when baiting large animals became banned in the 1800s, people started to fight their dogs against each other. And these dogs are bred to fight, and they're trained to never give up, even when they're dying or badly hurt. And they usually train them with smaller animals such as cats, rodents, and rabbits. And this is what a pit bull looks like. And as time went by, people started to develop these breeds to be lighter and more athletic. And sometimes uncaring breeders train them to be aggressive to dogs and people, which is a very, very big problem. And these dogs usually have their ears cropped and their tails docked, that means have them cut off, because this limits the area of the body that another dog can bite in a fight, and also it makes it more difficult for other dogs to read this animal's mood and intentions through its normal body language that dogs use in aggressive encounters. And these fighters actually perform these cropping and docking themselves using very crude and inhumane techniques, and this can lead to additional criminal charges related to animal cruelty or the illegal practice of veterinary medicine. And these are the ways that you can help these animals. And first, you can support stronger laws and alert the media if you find anything about dogfighting around your place. You should call or write your local law enforcement department if you find a dogfighting case, and these police must investigate these cases because dogfighting is a crime. And you should protect your pets because they could be taken by these breeders to train their professional dogs. And you can adopt a pit bull and set a good example for others, and volunteer to help your local shelter if it's facing a pit bull dilemma, and educate others in your community about how dogfighting is very horrifying. And in conclusion, I believe that animals feel pain just like people, and they eat and breathe and sleep just like us, so we shouldn't abuse them. And finding joy in others' pain and suffering isn't right, so all the animals that are trained for this cruel activity should be rescued. But I heard that even if they are rescued, they cannot be adopted to normal homes because of the way they were trained to be aggressive and to attack any dog. And I hope no more dog fighting continues anywhere around the world. These are my references, and thank you for listening to my presentation.